Finding collaborators that share your vision or understand how to translate your crazy ideas into reality may be a career-long effort. There is certainly no one way to finding the team to go on this artist journey of making a film. Filmmaking, as opposed to say like painting or composing or sculpting, requires a team of artists to execute one work. You need specialists in each field of music, design, cinematography, sound, logistics, finance, performance, and so on to actually make the picture come to life. This A team of creative needs to work together and towards a common goal. No small feat. I found my team by being involved in my industry, by having my nose to the ground and getting involved in other people's projects. That way, I found my network expand and expose me to people that are outside of my social comfort zone. If you stay only in your circle, then you'll mill around the same ideas and you might ultimately suffocate your own creative awareness. By challenging yourself with people who don't necessarily agree with you or have a radical personal creative voice, might push you as the director to places that you might not have been able to access otherwise. This creative jousting keeps you honest, fresh and original. Before I crew up though, especially if I'm looking for a position where I need to work with someone that I've not worked with yet, I go through a pretty rigorous interviewing process. Much like the casting room, the interview is the same platform for all the creatives that enter. They have the same material, and what they bring to the table in that interview will determine our next steps. I like to plan questions beforehand and be prepared for the meeting, knowing what the candidate has done before, watch some of their work, and spoken to some of their references will give you a good idea as to who they are. My questions in the interview will range from just normal creative ideas and sharing those to asking pretty personal questions about vision and person-to-person interactions. I mean, I want to know why they're here and why they want to work with me, as much as I want to communicate to them why I would like to work with them. The biggest takeaway from my last film has been to work with artists as HODs. Now, this sounds pretty straightforward, but it took me like a decade to get that. Each of my collaborators are in their own right artists. Whether they're musicians, painters, writers, they live creative lives outside of the film industry. These collaborators could bring all of their experience to the table with a dialogue that goes beyond scene. I could talk about what I wanted the film to feel like, to smell like, and then have the artist interpret that vision. I wanted my heads of department to put themselves into the movie, make this part of their art, and ensure that my direction is clear enough that once everyone has put themselves into the film, it still feels like one idea, like one cohesive piece of work. Finding your crew is going to be tough, because making a film is a very personal space to share with people, and trying to navigate personalities, egos, and conflict can be tough. But that's also the role of the director. You're the leader of this glorious, colorful troupe who want to tell a story and will be looking at you for guidance, when they feel they need it, and approval when they have something to show you. So don't get in their way. Offer support, offer a clear vision, and set the bar high. Don't let fools break down what others are trying to build, and get rid of any toxic people on set as quickly as you can. There's no time for distraction, and sometimes personalities just don't get along. Now, that's okay, but you'll have to ensure that it never, ever gets in the way of making your film.